Shout out to Cats Pod.
A big defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Malone is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Bobcats? Here we are. We got a special edition for you guys today. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the Sonny Holland game. Then we're going to do an all-time draft of our favorite Bobcats from any era.
Yep.
So we're going to hit you guys with that, probably piss off at least a couple of people, I am guessing, along the way. I am Ben Christians, joined by the illustrious Eric Lauver. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. It was fun to get a little bit of football. Unfortunately, I was on the road delivering bowls and didn't get to watch any of it. But thank God for statistics and word of mouth because I feel like I was there.
That helps out a lot in this situation, especially since I was at a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old's birthday party. And apparently in Shelby, SWX is blocked out. Yeah. So I couldn't watch any single second of it. But I don't know if you listened to the entire thing I sent you, but I listened to this entire game. It was like old school. I felt like it was back in the day when that was the only option you had was just listening to games on the radio or like you were on a car trip with your parents.
Yeah.
And you're driving along. You're heading down the road, and then your dad remembers that the Cat game's on, so you're, like, frantically looking through every AM station that there is.
And there's a few.
And there's a lot of them, and then finally you find the game. But you have to listen for a while and hear some players' names before you actually know what's going on. That's how I felt. A flashback to nostalgia listening to the Sonny Holland game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, it was I didn't have any way to really listen to it out in the middle of the boonies, but with what you sent and then listening to the press conference afterward, I felt like I got a pretty good idea of what happened and who really showed out and kind of some of the younger rising stars maybe.
Yeah.
So
it seemed like offensively and defensively, since these games are televised and everything, they didn't really want to give up much.
Yeah.
It was just like we didn't want to show too much on film right now. You want to leave a lot of it to be a mystery, and hopefully they got that accomplished, I guess. I don't know.
One thing I noticed was that Scottre kind of limped off the field. Hopefully that's nothing, maybe just a little stinger or something. But, hopefully that's nothing big.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, not that depth is a problem because Adam Jones and Colson Kuhn were both very effective.
Adam Jones seems like he is trying to prove his way onto the field, and he's doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, and then I saw somebody was talking that Elijah Elliott looked crisp.
Yeah, he did look pretty good he sounded real good.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire game. He sounded really, really good to me. Definitely all the backup RBs. It seems like there's a little bit of an injury bug going on this offseason. I hate to make that part of the topic, but Drew Polidor just posted about he's out 4 to 6 months with a knee injury.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Posted that on Instagram, and then we're not sure what's going on with Julius Davis because he didn't play in this game, maybe just resting because he's kind of an upperclassman now, so he doesn't really have to do these kind of things, but it seemed like he was out for some kind of minor injury at least.
Yeah, he had that turf toe, and that turf toe can be hard to get over.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a nasty little one, and I bet who knows. And it could just be he just, he's good. He just doesn't need to partake in a scrimmage. I mean, we are still quite a few months away from real football, so. I mean, it could be they just didn't want to even chance anything with him.
I think they have to keep Orange Julius off of the field just because he refuses not to go 1,000%.
Yeah.
So he can't go out there for a scrimmage. He's not going to play that game with him. He's not going to mess around and try and just go for a couple yards and not truck somebody over.
Yeah.
He's going to truck over whoever he can,
Yeah, I mean, and aside from the rushing, I mean, all quarterbacks seem to play really well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody had a bad game by any stretch of the word.
Yep.
And same with the receiving. I mean, it was so spread out. There's only one clear person, it seems like, in the receiving game, and that's I mean, I feel like we're going to see some touchdowns from Hunter Province this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like he is the go-to guy.
I know Hunter Province isn't really a new tight end,
No.
but I still consider like him and Rohan to be like the two new tight ends this year, even though Providence played a little last year.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly excited about both those guys.
You know what
I'm
else
excited to see both of them play serious snaps.
I saw on Twitter, Rohan posted on there, and he said spring ball check, and then went on to thank the Bobcats for bringing him in, giving him the chance. I thought that was a classy move.
Oh, yeah.
You know, guy that actually appreciates, he transferred here, he chose to come here, and appreciates everything about being here. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it seemed like a solid offensive, defensive effort from both sides of the ball. I don't really have any gripes, do you?
Not really, no. I mean, right off the bat, when the first two kicks were from 40-plus yards and they nail them right away, I was like, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good sign. But it is a scrimmage game, so it's like, what are you really going to do?
Yeah, and Tommy's still wearing a yellow jersey and everything, so, there's not a whole
ton to give from it.
Yeah, there's only so much you can read into everything, and it's kind of it's like you said, somewhat of a tryout, I think, and I think a lot of these guys really made the most of it. I mean, on defense, there's a whole list of people that had had a fair amount of contributions to both sides of that game, but kind of everybody that we kind of hope to see do quite a bit did, so that's good.
Yeah, it helps out a lot. They spread out the ball a lot. They gave everybody a lot of touches, so it's hard to make any big statements about any one player, but there was just a lot of I thought the Tommy Taco connection looked pretty solid, which I like to see.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Reed just came in, and he played some solid football when he was out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 8 for 17, and I did not think that he had that many incompletions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I saw that he had that many incompletions, and I really didn't think that was the case.
Yeah. No, it just seemed like everybody was just feeling good and, kind of ready to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they're all chomping at the bit now that spring ball is done.
Yeah.
To get back out there. I think it is worth bringing up. So spring ball is now done, and once the Grizzlies finished their spring ball, those guys were getting out of there.
Yeah.
They lost quite a few to the portal. By quite a few, I mean 3, I think. But still.
I am curious to know what's actually going on over in Missoula, because it seems like everything's been pretty quiet and pretty dark. And then, you just see things come up, and they're kind of to them.
Yeah.
You know?
It definitely could be, and we don't follow the sites that post about the Grizzly stuff and all that. But, I mean,
who does?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, who does?
We haven't been seeing anything real major come out of Missoula for a while.
No.
Other than their transfers leaving, which I don't blame them. Good job, guys.
We saw that the 80s villain is not coming back to Missoula. Went to McNeese State.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
The Grizz missed out on that one. They can't be rocking like 6 new quarterbacks this year.
I just got so sick of Clifton McDowell. I didn't even follow what actually happened at Tulsa.
Oh, yeah.
Or not Tulsa.
Temple.
Temple, there we go.
Temple.
The one that starts with a T.
The other T. The other T word,
I didn't even look in to see what happened there, mostly because I just didn't really care. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I mean, he's going to play for McNeese State. And McNeese State, if you look at their record of transfers, they have a ton of FBS to FCS. And I don't know if you consider Clifton McDowell to be FBS to FCS. I mean, technically by rule, he probably would be considered that.
He had a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
In the FCS, in the FBS.
It was like 17 FBS to FCS transfers or something like that went to McNeese State. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. That is a lot of people coming in.
Yeah.
But it's like, then that's a lot of competition. I don't know what's going on over there, but you better hope that you're playing super well in order to get any playing time over there.
We ain't worried.
We ain't worried. We don't need any of them peoples.
Well, with that being said, should we talk a little bit about this draft?
Sure. I think we should break it down how it's going to go.
So it's all time.
All time.
Any player.
We can pick from any generation.
Yep.
And I've been studying for this Brawling with History series, so I'm picking a lot of people from the 1890s, let me tell you. All my players are from the 1890s.
A couple of other things about it is we're going to draft these guys in no specific order. We're not ranking like 1 through 10, but we are going to after we get through our 10, we're going to throw in a pick from the heart. You know,
A pick from the heart.
Somebody that probably doesn't quite make the top 10 all time,
Mm-hmm.
but we're just going to put someone there because they're special
Yeah.
to us.
They're special to us. Yeah.
And they deserve some love.
I think that's a good idea. We'll probably, if this works out well, we'll probably end up doing a lot of different drafts. Like, we'll probably do different eras drafts. And
Yeah.
I kind of want to do just like a fantasy football style one.
That would be fun.
Where we have to pick like quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs,
Oh, my
and
team
we're
would
like
smoke
set
yours.
up with something, and then we have people vote on like who would win.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun one.
I kind of hope people do get annoyed by this.
Yeah.
So that, I want to hear everybody else's too. Like, it'd be cool if other people would send us their top 10, and then we can see how different they are and kind of talk about it a little bit.
You're like, we're sharing our bad takes,
Yeah.
so could please everybody else share their bad takes as well.
Yeah. Hot take commence.
Mm-hmm. All right, are we gonna?
Who
I
gets
guess
to
we
go
never
first?
decided who's getting the first pick.
Should we go by age?
Does that mean you get the first pick?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, you can have the first pick.
My first pick is going to be somebody that we just saw recently.
Mm-hmm.
He happened to be on stage of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl.
Okay.
Sten Rude.
Sten Rude.
Yeah, did you see that one coming?
No, I did not. I did not see that. I did not see Sten Rude as the first pick overall of our Bobcat rankings or our Bobcat draft. I did not see
kicker
that
for our
happen.
Montana State Bobcats.
I put some kickers on my list, like, because I thought it'd be funny towards the end to pick a kicker, and then you just went kicker number 1 overall.
It's not number 1 overall. I just couldn't let you have it.
You couldn't let me have Sten Rude.
He's one of the most well-known Bobcats of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like if you talk about actual professional football, this guy, he played for the Chiefs. He was just on the stage with the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is an all-time Bobcat.
What years was he playing at MSU?
He was at MSU from 1964 to 1966. Then he played with the Kansas City Chiefs for 12 years. Then
64. We went with the 60s player right off the bat.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
telling
this
you.
draft. I love this draft already. This might be the best thing we've ever done, and it was just because you picked a kicker first.
Hey, I had to get the most well-known Bobcat out before you did.
Yeah,
and
you can do that.
Granted, I thought you were gonna. I thought your picks might be a little bit better, so I was worried you might actually
I haven't
take
even
him.
made a pick yet. How?
Judging my picks already.
Made a single pick yet. There's nothing going on where I actually have picked.
But listen to the career highlights of this guy.
Okay, career highlights. Hit me with it. I'm
Okay.
so ready.
Okay.
4 champion.
4.
Super Bowl 4. And all those Super Bowl 4 fans out there are really excited right now.
AFL champion 1969, 4-time first team All-Pro, 2-time first team All-AFL, 2-time second team All-Pro, second team All-AFL, 4 Pro Bowls, 2 AFL All-Stars, the NFL 75th anniversary all-time team, NFL 100th anniversary all-time team. He's in the Hall of Fame for the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, and his jersey's retired for the Bobcats. This guy is
the dude.
I mean, he is
You
real.
know? I'm sold.
He is a kicker.
He's
and
a
he
kicker.
is the most well-known. This is
I don't know
ironic.
if that says anything. I don't know if that's bad about the Bobcats. That our most prolific player of all time is a kicker in the
And
1960s.
He was just on stage with the Kansas City
Just
Chiefs
on
for the
stage.
Super Bowl.
You know, he was on stage. He was there with Taylor Swift, released her new album. Congratulations, Taylor.
Case in
And,
point,
you know,
case closed. That's my first pick. You can't
that's
have
your first pick. I won't take him. I won't even try to take him.
it. All right, let's hear it.
All right, so my first pick in this draft is a player that I am so glad I can take, and I keep him very close to my heart. It is Mr. Travis Lulay. Okay, I thought this was going to be the number 1 no matter what, just because of our generation.
I like it.
Just because of our generation, that was the first success we saw. I was looking through some stats and everything, and Travis Lulay is up there for passing, obviously. But I also saw that he recorded like 3 of the top 10 longest punts in Bobcat history.
Yeah.
Like,
And he had the craziest punt style, too.
yeah.
I loved watching Travis Lulay. I don't blame you picking him there. I don't blame you.
I mean, as I started looking through stats more, and I was looking at that 2002 game where they broke the streak, I mean, they didn't really break the streak because of offense.
Yeah.
We'll just say that. It was like a 10-7 game.
Yeah.
All right, but let's just say field position mattered, and he was also the punter. You know? Field position mattered, and one of the most prolific Canadian football players of all time.
It's very true, and a very successful
There you
career
go.
in the CFL.
Yeah.
Very successful. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I'm glad that you approve of it. It comes from the heart. It comes from my childhood.
But you got to tell me, what was my pick even on your list?
No.
Okay, well, you've poached
Not
one
even
from,
close.
You poached one from me.
I
How
got
about
one
that?
from you. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
My next one. Mr. Troy Anderson.
Oh, damn. That was my number 2.
Troy
God,
Anderson.
that hurts.
He is, I mean, I don't really even need to go into that much detail, but, I mean, he was an all-conference quarterback. He was an all-conference linebacker. He was a second-round NFL draft pick. He had, his first year in the NFL was, just a rookie season, just a typical rookie season. But and before he got hurt in the second season, he was a dog.
Yep.
I mean, not a whole lot of explanation needed on that one, but Troy Anderson would be my second pick.
I mean, even though most people are going to know him for what he does defensively with the NFL, he's number 10 all-time in rushing yards. For the Bobcats. Like, he quit playing running back so that he could switch to defense, and he was still in the top 10 for rushing. And that's how good he was.
Besides everything and whatever he does in the NFL, we will always remember him for the miracle in Missoula.
Oh, yeah.
We will always remember him for that.
That's always going to be a big part of it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my number 2.
Troy Anderson, also 10th in scoring all time. 33 touchdowns.
It is
One
impressive.
2-point conversion. Like, he got in the end zone a lot. He rushed the ball super well.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm really good at this, but I think I'll stop doing that so that I can get drafted. You know? I think I'll stop doing that real quick. All right, are we going to my next pick?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I'm tore here. I don't know if I want to go offense or defense. I guess we have had a defensive pick so far.
Yeah. We've had a special teams defense.
We've had special team. We've covered all sides of the ball so far.
Yep.
I'm going Elvis Akpla.
Oh,
Elvis
all
Akpla
right.
is going to be my dude right there. All I have to say is da-na-na, da-na-na. Okay, him being on SportsCenter kind of put the Bobcats on like a national stage for the first time in a very long time. And it wasn't like the greatest team that we've ever had, but it was a very solid team, and he made some insane plays in a lot of those games.
Well, if you think about him, I mean, he was so fun to watch. He was an electric player. He does stand out as one of the Bobcat greats, and he was definitely on my list. So thanks for that.
Number 2 all time in receiving.
Yeah.
Season
Had
as a receiver with
145 yards. He just could catch the dang ball. He could catch the dang ball, and he got a lot of yards. And he did it with some style. And he was
big and tough, and he was
I mean, he was as talented as any player that's ever been on any position on the Cats. We should really be writing this down so we don't forget and we actually remember when we get to 10.
I mean, I've been deleting out the ones that you picked, so I stay.
Okay, well, you
In a
should write
line.
mine down too.
I'm not going to write yours down as well, okay? I'm not doing all that. But you have Sten Rude and Troy Anderson so far. So there you go. If you want to start writing those down now. All right. But it is your pick.
It is my pick. So I'm going to one-up your Travis Lulay with a Denarius McGee.
Oh, Denarius McGee.
D. McGee, the guy who was capable of putting up 60-some points a game every game.
Yep.
We may have not won all of those games he did that in, but he was going to put up the points that it took to win a game. Just didn't work out as much. And if you talk to any of those guys from that team, they'll tell you he's as smart as a football player as ever was. And he's proven it. And now I mean, the way he's moved up through the coaching ranks, all the into the NFL and everything, he's very, very valued for his football IQ, and obviously was incredibly talented. The number one passing quarterback for the Montana State Bobcats, D. McGee. Yeah, that's my pick.
And it's a great pick, and he did have some good years for the Cats. He was a stats monster. Just all over the board, he put up stats as much as possible. I just remembered a lot of those like Cat Grizz games and games later in the season. And it's hard to forget the way it ended for him.
Yeah.
It's hard to forget that part of it, but I really like Denarius McGee, and he definitely was up on my list.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I guess, should we give him credit for giving us Tommy?
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't leave, we don't start the.
No, that was.
I'm right on that, right?
No, that was.
No, I'm getting people.
I can't even remember that guy's name. Yeah, that wasn't D. McGee.
No, I'm getting people
That
confused.
was,
I'm time traveling right now. Don't listen to me.
I can't remember what that guy's name was. I think it's more because I tried to forget what his name was.
Yeah.
But yeah, D. McGee is my third pick.
Denarius McGee, this is a solid third pick.
Yeah.
All right. For my third pick, let's see here. I'm going to take it back to the national championship team.
Oh, you're going to take
All
my
right.
guy. I knew it. I should have taken him
I'm going to take
first.
it back to the national championship
Let me
team.
guess.
I don't know if I'm taking your guy, though.
Oh.
I'm feeling like I need to balance it out, and I'm going to pick a defensive player here.
Yeah, it's him.
And I'm going to go Mark Fellows.
Oh, yeah. It's 100%.
Yeah. Mark Fellows, 55 tackles for loss in his career, a beast getting in the backfield on the national championship team, one of the cornerstones of that team
Made the
defensively
NFL.
and also just as a personality.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Made the NFL. Dude's a stud.
Mhm.
Was a stud. I mean, he was very, very good at football. He was definitely on my list.
he got to see the rise to the top before everything came tumbling down.
Yep.
Must have been nice.
Yeah, Mark Fellows is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, very good pick. Very good pick.
Right.
I guess my next pick will be this one's kind of tough. I am going to stay back in the day
Okay.
and go with somebody who is currently advising the coaching staff,
All right.
Bill Kohler.
Bill Kohler, damn, he's up there for me.
Yeah, Bill Kohler is an absolute stud.
Mhm.
I mean, he's been a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and even his time with the Cats and everything was really good, but then he played for the Bengals and the Buccaneers in the NFL, and he's coached. I'm not even going to list all the places that he's coached in the NFL. Now he's back with the Cats where it all started, kind of helping out with the defense every once in a while.
Yep.
And yeah, Bill Kohler would be my next pick.
I love how everywhere he's been, he's always like, yeah, but I'm still a Bobcat.
Yeah.
Like, he's like
Yeah.
Bobcat first and foremost, no matter what team he's playing on, what team he's involved with. He's like, yeah, but I'm a Bobcat for sure. Day one.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
And just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, right?
Yep.
So,
and
you
Jersey retired. He won Super Bowl 50 as a coach.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a killer pick.
Bill Kohler is definitely up there in an all-time list for the Bobcats for me.
Well, since the historic coaches are
I think I'm going to also have to go with a historic coach and player. And it's going to be Sonny Holland.
Yeah, he was next.
I knew he was next, okay? I had to get him while he was still available. I wasn't sure when we were going to start going down that coaching tree, but just the more I've been learning about the history of the Bobcats, the more I've been learning about what a great just person Sonny Holland was.
Yeah.
And it is really cool to hear all the stories about him, what a great leader of men he was, and everything that he went through in his life, and still being able to just be that great leader for a whole generation of Bobcat players,
Not to mention he's incredibly generous. I mean, you say he's a great person, but, we have a scoreboard with his name right on top of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Very good pick.
Yeah, he's a very generous dude, just a great person and a great football player. Love
Yeah.
to see that.
I have to adjust my list just a little bit because you have stole.
now from me. Okay.
I planned to do. That's what the whole plan was. That's why I jumped to Sonny Holland right now.
My next pick. This could be considered somewhat of a hot take. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what the listeners think.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with Afonso.
Afonso right here.
Yeah,
Damn.
Afonso is the best running back I've ever seen play for the Cats. I mean,
Yeah.
we had Johnson and Cody Kirk, awesome running backs.
Yep.
But Afonso was untackleable. I mean, it was some of the things that guy could get out of.
Yep.
You couldn't even believe that he'd slip through tackles like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, breaking the all-time rushing record and all that good stuff, just kind of cherries on the top for Afonso. But, yeah, my next pick is definitely Isaiah Afonso. I wish he would have stuck around another year, but he came, he conquered, he did what he needed to at Montana State, finished out his college career and graduate transferred somewhere else. And, yeah, Afonso is my next one.
Broke all the records he could. So what else is there to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Try and get something done at FBS, I guess.
That really kills. Oh, that hurts. Because now I feel like I've made some mistakes with my running back selections. Because it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to bounce back from losing Afonso. It's hard because I don't know if you were planning on picking any players off of like this year's team, like last year's team. But it's hard to gauge right now. I want to pick some of those guys, but at the same time, you don't know what their career is going to mean in the grand scheme of things right now.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of unfinished business there, so I kind of wanted to stay away from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never saw this coming, but I think I'm going to go defense again. I never thought I'd be picking way more defense than you. I thought that you would be just crushing the defense, and I would be only picking offensive players the entire time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with John Montoya.
Ooh.
John Montoya.
Ooh.
His stats are pretty nice, but also just in all the reading that I've been doing the last couple days, he was just the ultimate energy guy on the team. Always showed up, worked super hard, set the tone, played through the 0-11 season in 2000 and bounced back and just was gritty enough to help raise up that team and lead to the breaking of the streak.
Yeah.
So it just a major personality part of breaking that streak and a big energy guy for the Cats all around.
Yeah.
I just really respected him the more I read. And also, he's second in tackles for loss in a career. He's got 56. So he played very good football, as well as being just a great leader on those teams.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good pick. Definitely kind of a under-the-radar kind of guy,
Yeah.
I would say.
I wasn't thinking about him a whole lot until I started doing a little bit of research for this draft.
Yeah.
It wasn't somebody that I was had huge up on the list, but then the more I read about it, the more he bumped up my rankings.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to stay on the defensive side of the ball with this next one.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with a Bozeman kid, a true Bozeman kid. Bozeman at high school, Bozeman at college, and a New England Patriot.
Okay.
Dane Fletcher.
I knew it. I knew it, you son of a biscuit.
Dane Fletcher was a total stud all the way through high school, all the way through college.
Yep.
Obvious NFL talent.
Yep.
You know, unfortunately, some injuries kind of pushed him out of there. But, I mean, he was still a pretty good player in the NFL and had a, for an FCS guy, pretty good career.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was a huge part of those Montana State teams.
Yeah.
Huge part. I mean, first team All Big Sky Conference 2009 Big Sky Conference defensive MVP. Pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
And to translate to a successful NFL career,
Yeah.
I can take it, and I'll take him with my pick.
I think that is a great pick. That is definitely a great pick.
And Ben is on the clock.
Okay, so next up here, I feel like I have to take a running back just because I don't have a single running back yet. This is where it's getting really tough.
There's
in the way of it. There are some really good running backs out there. There's definitely hasn't been a ton taken, but it's more about which guy do I think would fill out my squad right now?
yeah.
Who
Who would it be?
Who would fill out my squad? And I'm thinking that it is Cody Kirk.
Cody Kirk.
I'm going to go Cody Kirk.
Yeah. Cody Kirk is, I mean, when you think about that team with him and Denarius McGee, it was kind of Cody Kirk, Denarius McGee.
Yeah.
You know, those two guys were kind of that team.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Kirk was an absolute hammer. I mean, I'm not sure how many touchdowns he had, but it had to have been quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was definitely up there. He was just a really tough runner. You know, not known, I don't think, especially for his finesse. He's number 2 all-time in scoring for the Cats. 48 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions.
Yeah. So
he was a stud at getting into the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
And he definitely anchored the rushing game because Denarius McGee, not a terrible runner, but it wasn't a featured part of his game most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, so Cody Kirk definitely could be that 1-2 punch with him, and I feel like he had some serious skills as a running back, and he deserved to be on the list.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
you know.
I think that's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Really good pick.
Yeah.
It's not as good as my running back pick, but you're close.
I see your game. I see
close.
what game you're playing here.
Yeah. No, I like that one a lot. I think, you know, as far as running backs go, he was, you know, it kind of a clear-cut number 2 all time. I mean, he was a dog. My next pick is going to be he's a new coach for Nevada, I believe. Did he go to Nevada? He might have.
I don't know who you're picking. So.
Kane Ione.
Kane Ione. Okay.
Yep.
He wasn't on my list. You know, this is kind of showing me. This is kind of showing how soft my list is. You know.
Kane Ione most people know exactly who he was, but you know, from Billings, went to Montana State, defensive back.
Mm-hmm.
He was all over the field all the time. I liked him a little more. There's a bit of a tangent here, but so my dad went to Billings, and Kane Ione's dad was his principal.
Okay.
So
that's crazy.
When I was a kid, my dad would, you know, he worked used to work or build the TV stuff for these football games, and he would always take me to, take me over to meet Kane Ione, and talk to him and stuff. And he was such a nice guy. And when I went to football camps at MSU, it was always Kane Ione that, you know, there was other guys there, but it was like him. You know, he was kind of the guy. And I mean, obviously, his knowledge of the game is incredible. I mean, he's had 6 or 7 different coaching positions, including with the Bobcats and Boise State and Nevada. You know, so I think did he go to Nevada? I think he went to Nevada, didn't he?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up
State.
on his news.
He was at Boise State. I think he's at Nevada with Choate now. I can't remember for sure, but yeah, Kane Ione was a stud.
Yeah.
And he's going to be my pick.
That's a good one. That's a good pick. Next pick, I think I'm going back to the quarterbacks. Ooh. And I'm also going back in the time machine to 1984. I'm hopping in the hot tub time machine, and I'm taking Kelly Bradley.
Let's go.
Kelly Bradley just obviously won the national championship. He's high up on all of the lists. He's 3rd all time in passing, which it was a totally different era. So that's where it gets tough to judge these. And I felt like a lot of my picks went from like all these picks are the last 10 years or the national championship team.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it felt like to me. And there was the only players that you really read anything about or can hear anything about. And it really sucks that we don't have a lot of footage from back in the day.
Yeah.
Like there's the one video pretty much. And it's hard to find any footage outside of that. But he has the 1984 season where he threw for 3,508 yards and 4,477 yards all season is the number 1 passing season of any quarterback in Montana State history. So you got to think that was a major part of them winning that championship and just a complete stud at quarterback leading to all that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, I like that pick. I mean, Ben's just compiling a list full of winners here.
Just a national championship.
Proven winners.
just all I care about is dubs at this point. That's all I'm going for.
No, solid pick. Good quarterback.
Where are we at now? We got 7 picks each.
Yeah.
7 picks each. 3 more to go.
And
3 more to go.
I'm going to stay on the defensive side of the ball again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Mr. Brad Daly.
Okay, Brad Daly. Damn.
Yeah.
That was another one I had on here.
Brad Daly, Buck Buchanan winner.
Okay.
First team all conference or all America, first team all Big Sky, second team all Big Sky. I mean, he won all the awards in the FCS. I mean, he was an absolute killer on the defensive line, could drop back. I mean, the guy was a stud.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he's another one of those guys like that 2009 team. Same with Ione.
Yep.
That was a really fun defense to watch that year.
They were just studs all across the board, and
Yeah.
they could stop you from multiple different levels, and that's what we're obviously hoping to see this year
Yeah.
from a Bobcat team.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It seemed like our defensive line was holding it down most of the time, and then our secondary made some really fantastic plays, but there were just spurts where it was like 3 or 4 plays where it felt like they were going 15, 20 yards every single time down the field.
Yeah.
Which made it tough. And so, like, if they tighten that up, then all of a sudden we have one of those all-around defenses like you're talking about in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yep. That be my 7th pick will be Brad Daly.
Brad Daly.
Lock it in.
At the 7. Okay. Let's see here. I've got enough quarterbacks. Do I just take another quarterback? Do I just take all the quarterbacks? Is that what I'm into right now?
Well, we're talking about Bobcats.
All-time Bobcats.
Yeah.
It can't always be a quarterback because they weren't there. I'm going to go Tanner Bleskin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going Tanner Bleskin, all-time receiving leader for the Cats. Just great player, Montana native. Just definitely great route runner. Knew how to get open in space and just to make all the catches that were possible, you know.
Yeah, that's a really good pick and would have been my next pick had you not taken him.
Oh, see, I'm good, you know.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
getting better and better at this.
Tanner Bleskin's kind of he's probably one of those guys, you know, he never really made it in the NFL or anything, or I'm not even sure how hard he tried or anything like that. But all he did was catch footballs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Rack yards up. Yeah, he was a stud.
Yeah.
Total stud.
It was one of those things where I looked at that list and I was like, yep, that is number 1, isn't it? Which is kind of sad because I took Elvis so early. And I was like kind of leaving him off. But I guess Tanner just didn't have the long-lasting highlights that live on in my brain every single day.
Yeah.
But he just made a lot of great catches, but nothing was super flashy like Elvis had.
Yeah, I think for me, you know, Elvis was as talented as anybody who's ever played for the Cats.
Yeah.
But Tanner Bleskin was so consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, very rarely dropping the ball. I mean, constantly positive yardage.
Yep.
Yeah, Tanner Bleskin was a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that brings up pick number 8.
Isn't it pick number 9? I've got Travis Lulay, Elvis Akpla, Mark Fellows, Sonny Holland, Cody Kirk, Kelly Bradley, John Montoya, and Tanner Bleskin.
Is that 8?
That's 8.
I might have miscounted. It's been a long day. I didn't get home till 2:00 in the morning.
Okay. I thought you had it written down, and I was wrong on this.
And not because I was at the bar. I was delivering bulls and I didn't get, 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
Just one of those. Just one of those.
Yeah. That was definitely it. Yeah.
You know, I really should find a wide receiver to take, but I'm not gonna lie.
Got 2 picks left. It's coming down to the wire.
Coming down to the wire, man, you're killing me.
No pressure whatsoever.
I think see, this one's tough.
I've got a lot of picks I kind of want to make right now.
Yeah.
But it's really tough to choose at this point.
The Tanner Bleskin one kind of hurt because now I don't think I'm going to have a wide receiver on my team.
No wide receivers whatsoever?
I don't think so. Not at this point.
I mean, there's still one recent one that I have on my list at least.
Well, yeah, I just don't know. I know who you're talking about. I'm just not 100% sure he's an all-time.
Top 10 all-time. That's what makes it tough. I mean, it's really top 20 all-time because we're both picking 10.
I'm really struggling here because I want to go I'm going to go with Ryan Johnson.
That's good.
Number 2.
I like it.
All-time rushing leader.
Number 2 all time
at Montana State. Hall of Fame player for the Montana State Bobcats.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan Johnson was he was
essentially the same thing as Cody
just run the ball down your throat all the time.
Just
rarely got
mash
tackled
people.
in the backfield.
Yeah.
And he was a total stud.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm going Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson. Good pick. Good
Yeah.
solid pick.
Yep.
Good 9 pick right there. And 10. I mean 9 for me. My 9th pick. Oh, it's tough. Because once again, I keep going back to this quarterback. It's one quarterback. And I think I'm going to have to do it. I'm going Dakota Prukop.
Woo-wee.
Dakota Prukop, I obviously watched you play all your games, but as I started looking into his professional career in Canada and everything, he was giving me some Travis Lulay vibes.
Yeah.
And also just looking at how impressive he was passing and rushing, I think he was the most balanced dual threat quarterback that we've seen because he was number 5 passing all time and number 14 in rushing all time.
Yeah.
So it's like that is pretty crazy to see out of a quarterback. And that was kind of when running quarterbacks were just coming into their own. And it made sense that he ended up graduate transferring to Oregon,
Yeah.
which was the team that was making that their bread and butter.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Obviously didn't go well for him there at Oregon. But for the Cats, he was an all-time quarterback.
He was so much fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I know he graduated and had a graduate transfer and was able to go to Oregon and do the big league stuff. But boy, it would have been cool if he stayed another year.
Yeah.
Would have been so cool.
It would have been awesome for sure.
Yeah. Good pick. Good pick.
Thanks, man.
3 quarterbacks.
3 quarterbacks, They say if you have 3 quarterbacks, you really have none. So I'm still on a quarterbackless team here,
Okay.
obviously.
Now it becomes difficult because this
Yep.
is the last
This
pick.
is the last pick.
And
Are we doing one from the heart after this?
Yeah, one from
Okay.
the heart. But it's
One from
probably
the
not
heart.
going to be on my list here.
Okay.
But I still have 1, 2, 3, 4. Still have 5 people on my list, and I can only
think
pick
I do
one.
too. I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've got 5 that haven't been picked yet.
All right. And
What's it gonna be?
It's going. It's a familiar name.
Okay.
Recent move up in the Bobcat coaching staff.
All right.
Brother to somebody I already picked.
Okay.
Mr. Bobby Daly.
Okay. Yeah,
Let's
that
go.
Makes sense. That makes
Let's
sense.
go.
Yeah, playing and coaching, I think he's going to be a great pick all time, and he's going to be one that grows over time too. It's like we're right now, he's in this 10 spot, but I could see us doing this ranking 5-10 years from now after he's been doing some more work for the Cats, and he could be an all-time Cat up there even higher.
Man, and the thing about him was he was a good player in high school, but he was small, average.
Yep.
And came in, worked his butt off, and all he did was everything he did was successful.
Yep.
When he was with playing for the Bobcats. I mean, it was such a successful college career.
Mm-hmm.
He was such a stud.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't that difficult to put him in there. I kind of had them both together.
Yep.
Both of them guys.
Both the
the
brothers.
Dalys. But there's still some other guys that we didn't put on this list that I wanted to, but I got to go with Bobby Daly because he's such an integral part of the Bobcat organization right now.
Yeah.
So
It's a big time pick, and he definitely belongs on the list for sure.
Pick number 10.
Pick number 10. Final one. I kind of teased this one early on. When I told you eventually I was going to go kicker.
Yeah.
And my pick at number 10 is Jason Cunningham. You want to know why?
Let's hear it.
Because he has scored the most points in Bobcat history.
Well, I'll be
He is the
darned.
leader. He has 357 points, and it's not even close. Number 2, Cody Kirk, is at 292. All right?
I'll be
It's
darned.
not even close. He's got
Yeah.
all the points in the world. And what is football about?
Scoring points.
Scoring more points than the other team.
Yeah.
And old Jason Cunningham from 2008 till 2011, that's what he did is he scored points. That's what he did. He put the ball through the uprights.
Yeah. That's a good pick. I like
Thanks,
it.
Man.
You had to get your place kicker in there.
I had to get my kicker. I didn't have any. Well, I had Travis Lulay, so
Yeah.
I had one special teams player, but I needed more special teams to fill out my roster.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like that one. That's a good one.
Should we run down our list, or do you remember your list at all?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
You got it written down?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to cover yours first, and then I'll go through mine, or
All right.
which
Yeah.
way?
I'll go with mine.
Okay.
I picked first. My list better.
Okay. Sure. We'll see. We'll see what the people say. I might have a trash list. I also might have the greatest list of all time. That's how this works out.
All right. Here it is.
Okay.
Stenrud, Anderson, Denarius McGee, Bill Kohler, Afonso, Dane Fletcher, Kane Ione, Brad Daly, Ryan Johnson, Bobby Daly.
I really like your list. When you say them all back to back like that, it just makes it sound pretty deadly. All right. So for my top 10, I have Travis Lulay, Elvis Akpla, Mark Fellows, Sonny Holland, Cody Kirk, Kelly Bradley, John Montoya, Tanner Bleskin, Dakota Prukop, and Jason Cunningham.
I like it. I like your list too.
Yeah.
I like your list too. It's it makes a guy think though. It's not super recent.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to kind of think back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trouble was I felt like I only knew players from like the last 10 years from
Yeah.
when I had actually legitimately been watching football.
Yeah.
Because, any time before you're 14, I feel like you're watching football, but you're not really watching football.
I mean, somebody really has to stick in your mind when you're young to actually, for me it was Kane Ione.
Mm-hmm.
As, not that I was really young, but
Yeah.
That's kind of when I was big into the whole flag football thing and all
Yeah.
that good stuff, and he was kind of there, part of the coaching
Definitely.
staff and all that. But
And then it was like that, and then it was either from the 02 team or from the 84 team. That was all I was like. That was all the names that I knew, or like all I felt confident in picking.
yeah,
And I'm going to be honest, as I've been reading through the early history of the Bobcats, there's not a lot of players to pick. From 1890 until 1942, there is not a lot of prolific Bobcats to be picking from. I'm not going to lie. And there's really only one Grizz that was putting up massive numbers, two of them. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have one pick remaining, and that is a from the heart.
From the heart.
Maybe didn't put up the statistics or – they're probably not a top 10 Bobcat of all time, but to us, they deserve it.
Okay.
You want to
I got to get in touch with my feelings. Do I get the first pick on this one?
I went first this last time. You got to go first this time, and I guarantee you
From
you
the
won't
heart.
pick mine.
Okay. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
I won't pick it. I'm going back and forth on this one because I kind of want to go with somebody that I knew. Somebody that I knew in high school and didn't hang out so much in college, but I knew him in high school and living in Billings. But I also kind of want to go for a historic pick on this one, which is making it difficult. It's tough. I'm going to go Chad Newell. Running back, Chad Newell. Yeah. Billings senior, went to high school the same time I did. Great dude. Hell of a running back. He had the flow like no other. The crazy flow back before it was cool.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Just to do with a ton of personality. Ultimate football guy, through and through. Definite football guy. And he's on a lot of these top 10 lists for scoring and rushing. And he actually put up the stats, even though I don't think it was the most illustrious teams he was playing for. But I thought he was just a good dude back in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. Good pick. Good pick. I'm going to go to the opposite side of the ball here. Since most of my team I've already picked is defensive, I might as well stay defensive with this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Mac Bignell.
Oh, that's a good one. That should have been my pick.
Mac Bignell, he was playing kind of when we were around college and everything. an absolute bulldog for the defense. He was everywhere all the time. And the main reason I put him on this list is because he was at our bull sale. And I saw him, and I hadn't seen him forever. Yep. So, yeah, him and his brother came down to our bull sale and visited him with him for a little bit. And, yeah, so that's my from the heart pick.
I was roommates with Parker and Colby Bigno.
Yeah, well, he was with.
So he was with Parker, and I'm guessing that's who it was.
Yeah, he came down with Parker.
He used to come to our house in Dillon all the time. I won't tell any of the coaching staff what he did at my house, but he used to come down quite often, and it was a good time.
Yeah,
good dude.
Him and Parker came. Parker buys. He's got a few heifers from us and everything, so they came down to the bull sale and visited with them for a little bit. So yeah, that's my pick.
Good pick.
Yeah,
good solid pick from the heart. Do you have anything else to say about recent Bobcat news?
I don't think so. I mean, this was more of a let's have some fun episode rather than. I mean, we did a little bit of news at the beginning, but yeah, we're more interested in the all-time list.
Yeah, this is fun. I think we should definitely do more stuff like this more often. It can definitely fill up this off-season slump for us.
Yeah, and I think hopefully we can get some people to send in their lists
So
too.
if you guys want to send in your top 10, all time. Tell us how wrong we are in any situation. Go for it. Let us know.
Our lists are up for our from the heart picks are not negotiable.
No,
but the top 10
can't change those.
Let's go. Let's hear where we're wrong. Mm-hmm. And my list isn't wrong, but you can pick Ben's apart.
Yeah, go for it. I don't care. Whatever. All right. Thank you guys for listening. It's been a fun episode.
Yeah.
Hope everybody enjoyed it. It's a little bit different format than we've been doing before. Please rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this at or potentially watching it. Thank everybody for listening and hope you guys have a great couple weeks.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to take a kicker number 1 overall. It can't hurt anything.
Never be afraid to take a kicker number 1 overall.
The best.
That's a great opinion. I can't wait for other people's takes on that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. See you, everybody.
Adios.